All right, we are out here, the same location we were the first episode, using a lightweight rod, 2-pound test line, little rattle bobber with a small 64-ounce jig head and a, I can't remember the brand name, but Mr. Crappie, I believe it's Milky Shad. And we will see how this goes. I'm using I wouldn't say an ultralight rod, but definitely a lightweight rod. Now we have had almost 6 inches of rain over the past few days, and for this time of year, I don't know if you can see it, the grass has grown up. It was a very, very warm spring with lots of sun. Now with this rain, I'm not 100% positive where that tree goes out. I can see part of it, but it goes out much farther than you think. And I think I might actually go a little bit more shallow here. But it goes out, you can hear the bobber, but it goes out much farther than you think when it comes to where that tree ends. You can see the big clumps of grass. So I know over in this direction there tend to be lots and lots of bluegill, but again, we've had 6 inches of rain, so I don't know how that's going to affect things. I don't know how in the world that's going to affect things. So we'll toss back over where the bluegills tend to Now, normally in a river, you would not have to give it any type of movement like you see me doing. I'm only giving it movement because I'm in a pond that, as you can see, or a lake, I should say, that is extremely flat. No current. So I am having to force the movement of that tail. Because it is encouraging. I had a bite a moment ago, but again, I'm not hopeful for too big of a day here. Touched it, so you can get it to take it. Most of these are going to be sitting on bed, so I'm trying to get trying to get a reaction from them. Little crappie, come on, buddy. First crappie of the day. Nothing big, but it's a good start. Like I said, normally over there, that's traditionally been where the bluegill bed. So kind of nice to see there are No. Already hooked up with another one. Oop, lost him. Didn't even realize my lure had gone under the water. You can see the grass. Lots and lots of grass in there, even only fishing about a foot deep. I do believe the overcast is going to help us today, but it's a cool morning. Only sitting at about, probably say about 60, 64, 65 degrees. But six inches of rain is causes water to come up tremendously. Like I said, I'm afraid to come back over here because I can see kind of where that tree comes out, but it ends somewhere in front of me. But it is too overcast to use my polarized sunglasses. Even though my sunglasses are bright, still way too overcast for that. But there are lots of fish hitting. Just a crazy amount of explosions on the top of the water right now. Using this 2-pound test, I dang sure don't want it to be a bass. It will be a fun fight, definitely. That is not the targeted species. Like I said, the targeted species for today is crappie and bluegill. Crappie and bluegill. I'm pretty much trying to pull them off their beds, because right now it's spawning time for them. They're in the, you can see that swirl right there. That was definitely a bigger fish, but gonna try to see if we can tempt it. I don't really have the tackle for something that from that tail size that would be very fun to pull in, but we could try it. I brought a few jigs with me, so if we break off, we can go right through that grass. I don't know if y'all can see that grass, but I'm right on the edge of it. I think I got hooked on it. More grass right there. Yeah, I did. Chasing swirls, chasing swirls. Somebody should make a channel called that if that's not already, because it's kind of a cool name. So my brother asked me what human clay meant the other day, and I had to explain to him that we were all made in God's image, and how God gave us the ability to make our own choices, so we can either be molded in His image, like He did with our bodies. We could give to our souls, or we could choose another path. So I choose to be human clay and attempt to be molded after the Lord Jesus Christ. Now this is where rattle bobbers are good, and you see me jerking it slightly. That's really to cause the rattle. It's not really for anything else. A little bit of movement, but I can cause that same movement by just a light reel. I am actually attempting to cause a little bit of a rattle. I have a feeling in the video it's going to be a little hard to see that bobber, so I guess I will try to zoom it in the best I can for you. Got one. There we go, got him. And lost him right here at the shore. Still only sitting at one. Still sitting at one. I don't know if that hook isn't the sharpest on this jig or what, but man, I think I've missed more hook sets this morning than I've ever really missed on crappie. I mean, normally they'll almost hook themselves. You can see they're finning all the way up, almost on the bank over there. See, what's really nice is to use a slip bobber, because then you can see if they've come up and they've taken it from the bottom, which I think is what a couple of these bites have been, that they're shooting up on it. I think I may slowly pull it in like that, see if we don't attract a few bites as well. Basically, run it just like a normal jig. Just bring it in slowly. Little crappie. I think that's about the smallest crappie I've ever caught in my life. But I know how to blow it up to be about 5 pounds. That's pretty funny. All right. Causing a little bit of rattle. Another small crappie. I guess this is small crappie day. Bring it in. So I line my line up to come this way. That way I can bring it up right over. Getting a little bit better. Still nothing to call home about. I mean, not even big enough to eat, but getting a little bit bigger. Like I said, fishing about a foot deep. Let my string fall over by this. Oh, I got hit right then. Hadn't even tightened up my line yet. Let my string fall over by the tree, so that way I can control it and let it roll in next to the tree. Where you gotta remember, wherever your string lays is where you're gonna something wrong. I think it rolled over. Something's wrong. No? So that's a cool looking little bird. Got another one. Little crappie. You can tell by its head shakes. Tiny little guy. Super tiny little guy. Get out of here. Go tell your mom or your daddy. But a pretty fun morning. See, I allowed my line to kind of run that way. Lost him at the shore. That's good because he was tiny anyways. So I'm letting my line run more towards this tree here. Catching all kinds of babies. I think must be last year's brood. You think you'd start to catch some of their mommies and the daddies, considering it's spawning season. But then again, I don't know who all's been out here fishing in this area. They could have been taking everything they came up on. Yeah, I had one. Hop over this grass. Didn't do the greatest job of hopping over that grass. Wonder if maybe mom and daddy's a little lower, but man, I'm afraid to go lower because I'm just gonna get more of this grass. And this grass is nasty. Nasty. It's been a fun day so far. Been out here, I don't know, caught 5 or 6. Had a bite right then. I don't know if y'all could have seen it. Another bite. And quick release. I'm seriously questioning the sharpness of that hook. Now, the thing about bobber fishing is you can't feel the bite as well as if you were can't feel the bite as well as if you were just jigging normally. you can control the depth so much more. Like it feels like the fish are super shallow. And with a bobber, I can allow it to sit like that and not sink at all. So with a bobber, I can bring it out, I can put it right in front of them and shake it and keep it at that same height. So that's one of the big reasons I like fishing with a bobber. And the color on some of these are just gorgeous. The size is less than desirable, but the color, I mean, look at that. Look at that color. Just amazing color. Small one. So I will mention that I glue my jig heads on, and that's the reason you see me not having to adjust my jig head that often. Enjoy just the fun of fishing, fun of being outside. Wish more parents would get kids involved with being outside. You'll see my son and daughter, they'll fish with me from time to time on this channel. And that's just for the love of fishing. There we go. Seems about the size that the rest of them have been. Yeah. So you'll see how I'll bring my kids out here. We'll do some fishing from time to time. My son loves catching the most fish and the biggest fish. So, and he normally does, actually. So you'll see, this seems smaller. You will see, we'll go fishing for bluegill, and he will somehow catch a 5-pound catfish or something. So not only will he catch the most bluegill, but he will also somehow land the biggest fish. Luckily we seem to be stacked all up in here. I'll ring the dinner bell. Ring the dinner bell again. Swap up and go over to the other side here, over this way. In a moment. Seems about the same size as all the rest of them then. Maybe slightly bigger. Still definitely not a slab. But Yeah. I believe no matter where you live, you gotta get out in nature. I don't care if you live in a big city or like me in a tiny little town here in Iowa. You gotta get out and enjoy what amazing things are out in nature. We're talking even smaller than I think the ones I've been catching. Which, quite frankly, is embarrassing. This one seems a little better, but nope, it's not. It's that initial. He might be the biggest one of the day. Yeah. I don't know, maybe about a 8.5 incher, 9 incher. Nothing too big. Definitely probably our biggest one of the day. Still nothing to call Mama about. One of these days I'm bound to hook up on something a little bigger. I can feel tiny little taps from those super small crappie. Like this. Well, it's super small crappie day here on Human Clay Outdoors. If you want to learn how to catch super small crappie, just listen to me. I could teach you. And the funniest thing is I know a lot of fishermen who would kill to get as many bites as I've had, even though I haven't had a single keeper. That in other states they're not blessed with the way that our DNR here in Iowa has kept our natural resources. Now you can argue the deer population's down and all this, and you're probably right. We do focus on the that one actually wouldn't have been too bad a one. We do focus on getting the out-of-state crowd here for our deer population. I don't care if you like crappie or not, they're a beautiful, beautiful little fish. way. Make sure he wasn't just flopping right there. Seems like they're kind of stacked up right over here. Again, nothing to go home to mama about, but kind of stacked up. Just a gorgeous little fish. Super glue's starting to wear off. I mean, feels a little better. I think he's just a fighter. No. He's not a horrible one by any means. Not a big one either. But gorgeous fish.